Alright, so the NBA season ended tonight. So we have the picture of what the playoffs are going to look like this year. We are going to do the full playoffs, but we're not going to do it all in this video. This video, we're just going to do the first round, play-in and the first round. And then as the rounds go on, we'll go round by round. This season felt really fast. It was a good season. I didn't really watch as many games as I usually do, but I had a good time keeping up with it. We're in for a pretty good playoffs this year. We'll start with the East because I think the West is a little more interesting per usual, but we'll start with the East and we'll start with the play-ins. In the 9th and the 10th spots, we have the Bulls and the Hawks. Now the Bulls are my team. They've been my team forever, man. The Bulls and the Lakers are my two teams, but it's always Bulls number one. And it's a damn shame because the Bulls are terrible every single year. And it's hard to watch every year. And the one year I think we could have made a push. I don't know if I'm not going to go as far as saying we would have won the whole thing, but could have made a push. It just went downhill. And this year, it's not going to be any different in my opinion. I got the Hawks winning. And then in the other playing game, we have the Sixers and the Heat. I'm going to go Heat. Joel's just not, he hasn't been back long enough in my opinion. And the Sixers, I don't know. I feel like after he went down the first time, they've just kind of been all over the place. And the Heat, they kind of get it cracking during the playoffs. So I'm going to go Heat right there. So then the loser of that 7 and 8 game plays the winner of the 9 and 10. So it would be Hawks versus Philly. I think Philly beats Atlanta in that game because when you can be all over the place, but when you have a player as good as Joel, you're always going to be relatively good. You know what I mean? So regardless who wins what, I think the two teams that'll be in the playoffs out of the play-in spots will be Miami and Philly. So in the East, in this case, the play-in is pretty unnecessary because the 7 and 8 are going to be in the playoffs. That would set up for the actual playoffs. Celtics Sixers in the first round. Okay, we have the Celtics winning, but I don't wanna say it'll be a sweep or a 5 game. But then I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna go Celtics in 5. Like I know I just said Joel's that player that can get you to a certain point, but we kind of really haven't seen that in the playoffs out of him as much. And that's not his fault always. He's been hurt. But Celtics by far the best team in the league this year, 64 and 18. They're not losing to the Sixers. Then we have the Knicks versus the Heat. I think in this case, this one's tough for me. Because yes, the Knicks have been great. But they don't have Randall. I think they're missing a couple other guys if I'm not mistaken. I think if the Heat play to how they usually play in the playoffs, this is tough. This one's tough. I think if the Knicks win this series, it goes the distance. So it either goes to 6 or 7. No, you know what? I think it goes to 6 or 7 regardless of who wins. This is going to be a close matchup in my opinion. So, but who do I have winning the whole thing, the whole series in that case? I'm going to go Miami. I know. But they haven't given me a reason to not believe in them in the playoffs, no matter how low of a seed they are. Every single year since Jimmy's been there, they've exceeded expectations going into the playoffs. So I'm not going to hop off that yet. I'm going to go Heat over the Knicks in 7. Come at me if you want. I'm sorry. That's what I think is going to happen. Next series, we have number 3 Bucks versus the number 6 Pacers. I'm going to go Bucks in 5. I don't think Indiana really fucks with Milwaukee. I know Milwaukee's kind of been up and down this year. They're down as of late, but I think in the playoffs, when you give them a full series to really adjust to a team, I think they'll do a little bit better. I don't have them going really too far in. I think depending on the matchup, I think they lose second round, but I for sure got them making it out the first round. I want to go Milwaukee over Indiana in 5. Next series, this is a good one. Cleveland versus Orlando at the 4 and 5 spots. I'm going to go Cleveland here. Reason why, I feel like Cleveland is just a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more experienced. Again, Cleveland, besides Donovan Mitchell, doesn't have anybody that's really done anything playoff-wise, but Orlando has nobody. So these are two young teams. These are two kind of inexperienced teams, but I think out of the two, I got Cleveland winning it. This could go the distance, I think. So I say Cleveland in 6 or 7. Okay, that's going to wrap up the East. And then for the West, playing in the West is crazy. So in the 7 and 8 play-in, we have the Pelicans with the Lakers. And then in the 9 and 10, we have the Kings with the Warriors. Okay, in the 9 and 10 game, I'm going to go Sacramento. I'm going to go Sacramento this year. I'm not a Warriors believer, man. I'm not. I don't think I think they're done, man. And I've been saying it all year. They have been playing really well as of late, but I think I think they're still hungry from last year, and I think they're gonna really want to beat this Warriors team. I think Sacramento will end up in the playoffs too. So I'm gonna go Sac over Golden State in the first play-in game. And then in the 7 and 8 play-in game, I'm gonna go LA. I think LA is a big question mark, but in the playoffs, I really like them. Only because you have LeBron. You have LeBron on your team, you're gonna have success. Just beat New Orleans today, if I'm not wrong, for the last game of the season. I think they get them again and move into that 7th spot. The loser of 7 and 8 and then winner of 9-10 play each other again, like we said. And then I think in this instance, I think Sac beats New Orleans. I may be tripping here, but I think New Orleans just misses it completely. I think it's going to be the Lakers and the Kings making it out of the 2 spots. Don't ask me why. I just like those 2 teams out of the 4. I like those 2 to make it out. So I think it'll be Lakers 7 spot, Kings 8 spot. Although if I am the Lakers, I'd much rather play the Thunder first round than the Nuggets, because we saw what the Nuggets did to them last year. Okay, so then official first round, we would have Thunder Kings first round. The Thunder are so good, but they're so inexperienced. But I think in this case, Sac is a solid team, but I don't think they're good enough to beat a number 1 seed. So I think I'm gonna go Thunder in 6 against the Kings first round. And then we would have Nuggets Lakers. This would be sad to see because Lakers are my second favorite team, and I don't know, man. As much as you want to be optimistic for the Lakers, they got swept by this exact team last year. I know it's a little bit different, but I don't think the result would be much different here. I think it'd maybe go 5 or 6 games, but I got Denver first round. And then we would have Timberwolves, Suns. This is a good one. And I'm going to go Timberwolves. I just think the Suns, whenever I watch the Suns, they're kind of all over the place. Yeah, I'm going to go Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards I feel like he's coming in the playoffs this year with that mindset, like, I'm not fucking losing. And while I think they'll lose eventually, I don't think it'll be first round. They got a really solid team this year. I got Timberwolves in 6. Clippers Mavericks is, I think, the first round series I'm looking forward to the most out of all the series, because just 2 great teams, man. Luka and Kyrie, it's a crazy duo, and Dallas has some crazy lob threats, some crazy post play now. Okay, well, maybe not crazy, but they're good. LA they were my title favorite in like January, February, but then they kind of cooled down a little bit. So I don't know if I'd go that far now, but they're still really solid. So this one's tough for me. I think it goes 7 games, regardless of who wins this one. I think I'm gonna go Dallas. I think Luka this year, he's gonna will them, regardless of what happens. He's going to will them to the conference finals, in my opinion. So that covers the first round. Like I said, we'll make a different video each round as we go. We're not going to make all the predictions of all the playoffs here because crazy amount of possibilities that can happen. We'll go each round one by one and make our predictions of each round. But I think we're going to hit on majority of these picks this time around in this first round. So recap, I got Boston beating Philly, New York losing to Miami, Milwaukee beating Indiana, Cleveland beating Orlando, and then on the West, I got Thunder beating Kings, Nuggets beating Lakers, Timberwolves beating the Suns, and the Mavs beating the Clippers. So I'm either gonna look smart or I'm gonna look dumb as shit. I think I'm leaning on the smart side right now. I could be tripping. Like I said, I could be tripping. This is the year I've watched the least amount of hoops, but based on my keeping up and based on like the little amount I have seen, these are kind of the matchups I like right now and the winners of each matchup I like. So we'll see the next time we talk about this if I was tripping or not. But I think I'm pretty right.